The life of European fishermen on modern fishing vessels is a difficult and challenging journey, but also contains majestic and admirable moments. They are people living in the middle of the sea, on ships tens of meters long, equipped with satellite positioning systems, radar, modern sonar fish finders, automatic fish collection and processing systems, and large nets capable of catching hundreds of tons of fish per trip. These ships are like floating factories, able to go out to sea for days, even weeks or months without needing to dock. Although work at sea is arduous, it is also the main source of income for many coastal communities in Norway, Iceland, Spain, France, and many other European countries. Fishermen often depart from large fishing ports such as Bergen in Norway, Vigo in Spain, or Reykjavik in Iceland. Each trip can last from a few days to a few weeks, depending on the weather and the fishing plan. Before each trip, the captain and technicians will check all the ship's systems, from the engine, power supply system, satellite communication station, to the cold storage tanks and fish storage. Then comes the refueling, food, fresh water and necessary living items for the entire crew. A modern fishing boat can carry from 20 to 40 people, each person taking on a different task: steering the boat, operating the machinery, dropping and retrieving nets, sorting fish, operating the refrigeration system, and cooking. After the boat leaves port and gradually moves out to sea, the work begins to become more intense. The fishermen take turns to watch the night to monitor the radar and sonar equipment. When a large school of fish, usually herring, mackerel, cod, or sardines, is detected, the captain will steer the boat to the appropriate location. The sailors are then alerted to prepare to drop the nets. Their fishing nets are not like the small nets on traditional fishing boats, but nets that are up to a kilometer long and more than 100 meters high, designed to encircle a school of fish like a giant bag. These nets are often called purse seines or pelagic trawls, depending on the technique used. Once the net is lowered and encircles the school of fish, the boat slowly pulls it back. This requires not only the power of the machines but also the coordination between the sailors. Meter by meter of net is pulled up. Dozens of tons of fish gradually appear, sparkling silver under the powerful headlights shining from the deck, as the fish are pulled up. A high pressure water pump system sucks them into the processing compartment. Here, the fish are automatically sorted by size, then washed, flash frozen at sub-zero temperatures and transferred to deep freeze storage facilities located below the ship. All stages are mechanized, saving manpower and speeding up preservation, keeping the fish fresh even after many days at sea. Life on board during the trip is not easy. The harsh weather in the North Sea and the Atlantic Ocean is one of the biggest challenges fishermen face. Strong winds, large waves up to several meters high, ice and snow in winter, and dense fog can make navigating and netting dangerous. There have been many accidents due to falling into the sea, colliding with icebergs or encountering sudden storms. That is why everyone on board must be thoroughly trained in maritime safety, rescue, firefighting, and first aid. On board are always life-saving suits, lifeboats, life jackets, and emergency signaling equipment. In addition, each ship has a satellite communication system to maintain contact with the mainland in all weather conditions. Working hours on board are also very harsh. Fishermen typically work 12 to 16 hours a day, in 2 rotating shifts. The repetitive work, cold hands and feet, loud machinery, and the fishy smell of fish clinging to the skin can leave many feeling exhausted. However, in return, the income from a successful trip is quite high. Especially for trips that yield hundreds of tons of fish. A skilled fisherman in Norway or Iceland can earn tens of thousands of euros a year, if he makes enough trips. Despite the harsh conditions, modern fishing vessels are equipped with the necessary amenities to help the crew maintain their health and spirit. There is a kitchen, dining room, entertainment room with TV, satellite internet, and some even have a small gym. Each person has a private or shared sleeping compartment with another person, with bunk beds, wardrobes, and heating. Meals on board usually include meat, fish, vegetables, pasta, and hot dishes to keep them strong in the cold environment. The cook on board is usually a professional chef, trained to cook for large quantities and know how to preserve food for a long time while maintaining its quality. The bond between fishermen on board is very special. They live, work and face danger together for many days at a time. This creates a close camaraderie, sometimes even stronger than relationships in real life. They help each other in work, take care of each other when they are sick, and share every little joy like watching a football match via satellite, or enjoying a hot meal together after a night shift. However, not everyone can endure life at sea. The distance from family and friends, the long cold nights without seeing land, the feeling of loneliness and work pressure make many people quit their jobs after a few years. Only those who truly love the sea, are passionate about their work, and have a strong spirit can stick with the seafaring profession for a long time. For them, the sea is not only a place to make a living, but also a place to nurture their spirit, create courage and resilience. Life at sea, lasting through cycles of drought and storms, sometimes brings rare moments of peace. When the sea is calm, rays of sunlight penetrate the cockpit glass, shining on the faces of tired but hopeful sailors. They know that behind the ice in the freezer compartment are hard-earned money, pride in their work. When the sea is calm, cleaning and maintenance, painting and checking the machinery are carried out more elaborately. Each modern fishing boat is a sophisticated mechanical complex, refrigeration compressor system, oil filter, backup generator, net crane, fish processing station, and automatic exhaust fan system. If one part breaks down in the middle of the ocean, the whole fishing trip can be ruined. So the technical team is always on duty, controlling all the indicators on the control panel, sometimes having to unscrew, remove valves, and weld pipes right below deck despite the wind blowing in their faces. Over the years, the development of technology has created great strides for industrial fishing. Previously, fishermen relied only on their eyes and experience to detect fish. Today, they can track individual migratory fish schools via satellite, measure oxygen levels in the water, and even use acoustic sensors to determine the size of fish schools. Drones and ROVs are deployed to survey the seabed, detecting fishing grounds before ships arrive, saving fuel and time. These innovations not only optimize catch but also minimize the impact on unwanted species, reducing the rate of juveniles and other marine life being accidentally caught in nets. Today's fishermen are not just manual workers. but also engineers, operating complex control systems and analyzing complex data. As industrial fisheries grow, resource management becomes a matter of survival. The European Fishing Association (EFTA) and national management agencies set strict regulations on catch quotas, fishing areas, minimum sizes of fish allowed to be harvested, and spawning breaks. On each vessel, the crew must keep a detailed fishing log, date, time, coordinates, amount of fish caught by species, fuel consumed, and technical problems. This log is submitted to the authorities after the trip to strictly control the marine resources, ensuring that no fishing vessel exceeds the quota or exploits indiscriminately. Each month, the captain's representative must attend a regional conference, exchange data with other vessels, adjust schedules to avoid overloading the area, and support each other when accidents occur. Although technology and regulations have helped the fishery develop more sustainably, danger still lurks. Atlantic storms in late autumn can appear suddenly, with force 10 winds and 8 to 10 meter high waves, causing even the most modern fishing vessel to sway violently. Once, a Norwegian royal ship encountered a storm off the Grand Banks. Everyone had to tie everything on deck, stabilize, and untie the nets to reduce drag. After hours of struggling, they escaped the storm, but many of the crew members fainted from exhaustion and seasickness. At times like these, the ability to overcome fear is crucial. The captain must stay calm and make the right decisions. The crew must coordinate well to stabilize the ship, and the logistics department must monitor the fuel, electricity, and food levels to ensure that the trip is still safe and secure. In addition to the pressure on safety, psychological and mental health issues are rarely discussed but are extremely important. Long days away from shore, without internet, without regular cell phones, only expensive satellites, many fishermen fall into a state of stress, homesickness, and even depression. Large fishing companies have begun to recognize this and have implemented psychological support programs. On some ships, they install soundproof stress-relieving rooms, providing entertainment such as game consoles, offline movies, books, and ping-pong tables. Even every few months, they organize video conferences with fishermen's families, helping them share pictures of their children and spouses, helping to bond psychologically. Those are efforts. It is no small feat to keep crews in good spirits and mentally prepared for long voyages. Economically, industrial fisheries contribute significantly to the GDP of many European countries, and create thousands of direct and indirect jobs. Once fish are brought into port, processing, cleaning, deheading, deboning, freezing takes place in cold storage facilities on the coast. Fresh fish, IQF fish, canned fish, and convenience products such as fillets have become key export items. Fish meat is distributed throughout Europe. The United States and Asia, fish bones and organs are processed into animal feed or fertilizer. Cold chain logistics has developed in parallel, with cold storage systems, refrigerated trucks, and refrigerated ships to maintain the value chain from sea to table. The future of European fisheries promises to continue to innovate. Companies are experimenting with low-carbon fishing, using solar power and lithium batteries instead of diesel, robots that automatically collect nets and process fish on site, and blockchain to ensure transparency in the origin of fish caught. At the same time, the trend of aquaculture is growing, helping to reduce pressure on wild fishing and meet the growing demand for protein from seafood. European fishermen and experts are working together to research a model that combines farming and fishing, sustainable exploitation, and protection of marine biodiversity. However, no matter how modern the technology is, how big the ships and automated systems can replace some jobs. The spirit and bravery of the fishermen are still indispensable factors. They are resilient people, dare to take risks on the sea, dare to face all difficulties to bring back full catches of fish, under the howling wind and roaring waves. They still hold the helm firmly, keep their faith in the profession, in the sea and in themselves, every day. Every trip out to sea is a journey to affirm the value of themselves, of the community, and of the entire European maritime economy. When the fish fill the hold below the ship, the IQF, individual quick freezing, process begins immediately, becoming the key lever to maintain the quality and freshness of the product. On deck, the crew connects the cold water pipeline from the compressor station to the copper pipes surrounding the hold. Cold air with a deep negative temperature, usually from -30 degrees Celsius to -40 degrees Celsius, is blown continuously through the vents, covering the entire surface of the fish. The fish are arranged in thin layers on a moving conveyor belt before sliding down into the hold, allowing each fish to have maximum contact with the cold air, freezing each cell while still fresh. The hold, once a simple refrigerated space, has now become a high-tech system. Temperature, humidity and air pressure sensors constantly monitor the conditions inside, sending data online to the control station on the bridge. If there is any fluctuation, such as a temperature increase of more than 2 degrees Celsius above the set level, a series of signals will alert and automatically activate an additional compressor or close the warm air supply valve to ensure the frozen environment is not damaged. Below the floor of the hold, a meter-thick insulation system and an outer stainless steel shell keep the temperature stable no matter how rough the weather is outside.